You're not gonna start us off with a fart again or something?
Oh my God, I'm so glad you filmed that. That's gonna be the first TikTok I make.
Oh, really?
It's just me ripping ass.
Excellent.
That was great. I
That's
didn't
funny.
think you were filming.
I'm always filming. So watch what you. I've got a whole fucking 6 gigabytes of you saying the N word.
Oh, that's some good blackmail. It's just you mouthing over my mouth, like Photoshop.
That's excellent. By N word, of course, I mean Nutella.
Yeah. Fuck, fucking, I got tricked by a dang TikTok this week.
The one you
The
sent
damn.
me about Ethereum.
I just want to scare you a little bit. No, this guy was like, going over life hacks you didn't know. And he opens up the jar of the Nutella, and there's like a plastic foam part on the lid. He takes the foam out, and there was like a little plastic knife inside of the lid that you could use. I'm like, no fucking way. So I go right to the jar of Nutella, try to open the thing up. No knife.
That
Trick.
liar. He should be
Trick.
prosecuted.
Can you do that on TikTok? Can you lie?
I'm pretty sure lying is illegal. That's what I was always told.
Yeah, somebody should get notified about this.
Yeah. I want to see that man in handcuffs. Send him to jail.
How many people looked under those lids?
Probably enough for it to be a felony.
Oh man, speaking of felonies,
What happened?
I thought about just starting with this, but I had a pretty wild week, man. Pretty wild week. It was a bit of it's like an episode of, or it's like playing the video game Grand Theft Auto. You know what I mean? Like shit just got real.
Okay.
Uh, so long story short, my girlfriend, uh, her car got stolen this week while she was at work.
I did hear about this, but I have not heard the story yet. We've been saving it for the podcast.
I know. I didn't even text you about it. And then she said she texted your wife, and I was like, oh, I was gonna surprise him, but oh well, it's no big deal.
Yeah, Kelsey told me right away.
I know. Word spreads fast, right? But anyways, she went to work just like any old shift, and it was snowing that day a little bit, and she's got uh, normal shift like noon to 8 o'clock. We'll say it's something like that, and she has to she has her work keys and her regular keys, and sometimes they're together, and sometimes she separates them.
Okay.
And she went and worked her shift and like starts closing the shop, closing the store up with her work keys, and then is looking around the parking lot, and there's nothing in the parking lot. And then right away um I think she assumes like the worst right away, actually, but she tries like texting me and tries calling me,
Oh, good
and of
luck with
course
that. Jesus
of course
Christ.
I don't answer right
Of
away, but I
course
see
not.
this like all caps text like, call me back right now,
2
urgent,
hours later, when Dalton finally looks over at his phone, sets down the controller.
Luckily I had just died in Apex and I had a chance to check my phone,
Yeah.
and she's like, or no, well, first of all, I text her back. I was like, if it's that urgent, just text me what it is. She doesn't even text me what happened. Just call me back. This is like, okay. But I tried calling her back, and then she doesn't answer. But that was because she was on the phone with her dad. Like, she's already like, um, explained the situation to him.
She
Like,
was
what would you
calling
do?
the one stable man in her life.
Well, I'll get back to that later. He's also a manager, and everything like business related. She's always like hit him up, and like I don't think this has ever happened to him either. But um, so I call her, and the first thing she says to me is like, "Did you borrow my car today?" And I was like, Oh no, I did not. Because there's definitely times where I've switched vehicles with her. There's maybe been one or two times like maybe I've switched during while she's at work for some reason, but I've always obviously called her and texted her like, "Yo, can I trade you vehicles? I gotta do something or other," you know. But man, that's probably happened like once.
Right.
If anything, we just get settled that day. Like, hey, can I use your car today? I gotta go like run 50 errands, and you just gotta go to work. And what's funny too is like the two or three times she's borrowed my truck, she's always I have a extra little extender for storage on the back tailgate. It's
Yeah.
just like a big metal piece, costs a couple $100, and she's like, "Hey, if I'm gonna borrow your truck, you should probably take that thing off because there's a lot of theft in this area." You know what I mean? And I'm like, no worry about it. They aren't gonna take that big old metal thing off and haul it off, you know. And they didn't, but they
Oh
did.
my! I thought you were leading up to they did,
No,
and they
no, no.
totally did.
They but in this scenario, I said, no, I did not borrow your car. And she's like, all right, I got to call the cops. And, tries calling the emergency number, which she calls the non-emergency number pretty frequently for her being a manager and there's just theft and you just report it to them and like, okay,
Right.
but she tried the emergency number and they were busy and they just said we're going to get back to you when we can. So like the cops didn't get back to her for like 2 hours or something like that at least. And in the meantime, I had picked her up and brought her home. And she thinks that when she got out of the car, she must have dropped her car keys and just had her work keys in her hands. You know what I mean? So that kind of scenario. And then somebody found the keys, jacked the car.
Wow.
I
Did
know.
they
And
have they found it yet?
nope.
Have
It's
you ever
been that was Sunday and today is Friday, so it's been 5 days already, whatever.
have you ever had a car stolen?
No. Oh, I've had a car broken into, and they tried to steal it actually out here in Colorado.
Really?
When I moved out here, I had two vehicles: the Ford Ranger I have now, and a Subaru Impreza Sport.
Okay.
And the Subaru was just sitting out in front, right out here, which is now this lane out here. They marked it off for bike lanes in front of my apartment, but we used to be able to park right in front here, literally right in front of my apartment. Somebody broke in, stole the CD player because I had like a CD player with a DVD screen or whatever you call it, a little mini screen you could watch movies and shit on, and they had tried to steal the car, I guess. I mean, they'd just snip wires and shit underneath. Like there's wires and shit hanging down from the bottom, and the ignition, like all that was ripped out and stuff. You know what I mean?
That's
So I
funny though.
ended
Like
up.
I've seen it in a movie where you something about these wires.
You can, I don't know. Connect the red and the blue, man. That's it. I don't know, man. Maybe, who knows? Maybe they. I don't know. They tried, and I ended up just getting rid of that vehicle. But they never really succeeded, and this time it's stolen. And luckily, we're fully insured, and I'm sure she'll get pretty decent value out of the car because she was actually on the market for a new car. It's so funny because like she's like, man, the insurance company's gonna think I'm a culprit in this because I was literally texting. She has like a car guy that her dad goes through. He's like, I've been texting him all these different cars to look for me because he buys them at auction, and
Oh, okay.
then the next week your car goes missing. Oh,
Yeah,
you know.
this podcast will definitely be used as evidence in court.
Yeah, I know, right?
100%.
Oh
I had
man,
a car stolen one time.
really?
Yeah, I used to have this Honda Accord. I think it might have been like a 94 or I don't it was a very popular year to be stolen.
95 Honda.
Yeah, something
Put
like
some
that.
respect on it.
Anyways, I probably told the story before, but it's funny because the driver's side door didn't open. It was broken shut.
Okay.
So I had to always crawl in across the passenger seat. And I was living in a sketchy part of town at the time. So I also had one of those like wheelie bars that locks. It goes over the steering wheel, so you can't. Yeah. It's like a theft deterrent.
Sure.
And I always locked the car. I woke up one day and the car was just gone.
Wow.
And
that lock on it?
Which means they had to crawl over the passenger seat. They had to, apparently you can just take like a hacksaw and hack through the steering wheel and then pull the bar off, right?
Oh,
because it's only gripping onto the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And then steal the car. And I reported it stolen. I got a new car, and then it was a couple years later. I was trying to renew my driver's license, and I had a $200 abandoned vehicle charge.
Oh wow!
So at some point, they found my car. They tried to contact me.
Oh, they tried.
And I don't know if like I had gotten a new number or
sure.
I just didn't pick up their phone call or something.
Yeah, I don't talk to cops.
Yeah, exactly. I ain't no snitch.
Police calling.
But yeah, I guess they had found my car, so I immediately call, and I think I had to show them the police report saying like it was stolen. I didn't just abandon it somewhere.
Right.
And I was like, so do you still have this car? No.
Right.
They found it like over a year ago, and at that point it was already like probably smashed somewhere in a junkyard, you know?
Sure.
Like they didn't hold on to it for over a year.
No, it's either crippled or they auction it off or whatever.
Right.
That's crazy, man, because I actually, when this happened, I was trying to figure out if I knew anybody of my friends or whatever that's had their car stolen. I couldn't think of any stories, actually. And then I went to work, and literally one of the first coaches that I told this story to, he's like, oh, my girlfriend's car got stolen last week, too.
Last week?
Like, what? So, like, within the same week, our
same guy, probably.
No, this is so. I was gonna say in this story, I was like, did they find the car? And he's like, yeah, they found it. Which, funny enough, one of the cops that trains jujitsu with us is the one that had a slow speed car chase with these people and arrested them. But they had smashed the window to get into the car.
Okay.
And broke and stole it somehow. And I was like, I asked him, I was like, is there any, is there damage? You're going to keep the car? What happened? And he's like, oh no, we totaled it. They smoked meth in there. And there's needles everywhere and stuff. And like the car seat was still in there too. You know what I mean? From their newborn baby. And there's like needles and shit everywhere. And you're just like, oh my God. I was like, so you keeping the car seat or was it?
Are you trying to resell the car seat covered in needles,
yeah.
Dalton?
Yeah. I'm sure that was selling eBay really well, man.
So they totaled the car because of needles?
I think because they smoked meth in it. They found meth in it. And they're like, this isn't safe to be in.
I'd be driving that car right now.
I'd be zooming.
Yeah.
I haven't slept in 3 days, man.
We're doing a cross-country road trip. Look at all this meth I found.
Wonder if you know how we drift in Tokyo.
That's crazy. I never heard of totaling a car because a little bit of meth fell into it.
I mean, I don't know what else the extent of the damage is besides broken window and however they stole it and smoked meth. That's the 3 criteria for totaling in the insurance.
Interesting.
Yeah, man, what a week. So it took like a couple days to get a dang rental car around here, which is crazy. And then we have 2 weeks before they can report it to the insurance company, and if it's not found, then the insurance company's going to cut us a check.
Okay. Well, let's hope. Well, you know what? Just start dodging phone calls. That's what I did.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Just change your numbers. It'll be fine.
I mean, if it was that easy, I wish I would have known, man. I get my car stolen too. We'll just instead of selling it, no problem, man.
You want to stage a car theft? I'm sure that's not a big deal.
Speaking of, so remember a couple of podcasts ago, we were talking about road rage, and I was like, I want a pistol just to point at somebody. Like, I don't, I'm not going to kill them. Just want to
Oh,
point
I
at them.
remember.
Remember that story?
Yeah.
Well, like literally the same week that happened, I'm going to look it up now. One of the top 10 heavyweight UFC um, fighters got arrested. I'm gonna pull this up because I don't want to say the wrong thing here.
Okay.
His name is Cain Velasquez. Apparently, somebody molested or raped his daughter. Okay, and
Okay, this took a really dark twist.
oh yeah, yeah. Cain Velasquez found the guy, and apparently went on a 11-mile high-speed chase, ramming his truck into the guy's car. I don't know what he was driving, and fired a 40 caliber handgun multiple times in the truck, which carried this guy he was after and two of the guy's relatives. So there's multiple people in the car.
Oof. Okay.
And one of them was struck in the arm with a bullet, but he survived. So
why are you telling me this?
Well, now I'm kind of backing up on holding the gun in my car anymore. You know what I mean? But even though that's such a crazy story, like I can't imagine. That's not just a road rage story. That's you came after my daughter thing, and I'm gonna try to hunt you down and shoot you. Shit, man.
Well, I totally get that part of the story. That makes a lot of sense to me. Fuck that guy. But there were two other people in the car, so I can't.
I actually didn't realize that the first, like all the headlines and stuff, they don't even mention the other two people in the car. This is actually new news to me. I heard somebody was struck in the arm. I thought it was the guy that was allegedly the bad guy or whatever you want to say.
Right.
But at this, like, I told my girlfriend about this, and she was like, "There's been people that have, gotten away with shit like that, but it was on like their own property and shit. Like, he came after you with a fit of road rage, hitting. I mean, who knows how many other people he could have potentially hurt
sure,
that were innocent, Oh man, so
yeah,
but like on my Facebook feed, it's all these like fighters, free Cain, and it's got like a picture of him and his daughter and shit. And you're like, oh my god, like I bet most of those guys didn't read the whole story either. Like I didn't even know that there was more people in the car besides the one person.
Yeah. Well,
Wild.
I have a story about a fighter. This is
I don't mean to bring the podcast
Jesus
down,
Christ, dude.
It just reminded me about, me like some guy having road rage with me and wanting to point a gun at him, but he's got like 10 different counts of shit, and one of them is, like just you can't even point a gun. I believe it's against the law.
I would imagine pointing a gun at someone is illegal.
I think so. I don't know the law too well, obviously. Can we get some lawyers in here and
let us any know. Lawyers in the chat?
Comment below, you guys.
25 people that watch this.
I know we got a big lawyer crowd. All right.
I have a story about a fighter. I can take this in a little bit lighter direction, but still related to the topic.
Bring us back up.
Okay.
I'm going to sit up.
This is actually kind of relative to our podcast, too, because you've talked about this guy before. Brendan Schaab. Have you heard of?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. People are... he got himself into some trouble recently.
Oh, running his mouth again?
Even worse.
No.
There was a YouTube creator who was reacting to his content and talking shit. Which is exactly what we do, right?
Sure.
And Brendan Schaab struck every single video and got that guy's channel taken away.
Struck his channel? What do you mean?
Copyright claimed it and got strikes on the channel, which...
Well, how many videos did he have trash talking Brendan to get?
It only takes
down?
3. Who knows? Yeah.
I was about to say you had to have at least three.
But here's the thing, the YouTube community, like, that is something you don't fucking do. So all the big creators are talking about him right now.
Right. He should. Well,
Here's the other thing.
that's
Brendan
interesting.
Schaab does his own reaction content on YouTube.
Right.
So if he wins, oh, that's the thing. I don't know if he got the guy's channel taken down. He got the videos taken down, and he's suing the guy. He's suing this like
For,
Brendan
like,
Schaab.
defamation of his name or something stupid.
Yeah, this big fucking guy is taking this small YouTube creator to court because Brendan couldn't hang with the jokes or the sarcasm or whatever.
I mean, what are you gonna? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like a freedom of speech here.
So here's the thing:
He's gonna win that.
if he does win it, then that sets a precedent for reaction content on YouTube, which will end up shooting himself in the foot because he does reaction content on YouTube.
Right.
And then the other part is, so I watched one video of someone talking about this, and then I was like, well, I wonder if there's more context to this, right? I wonder what this guy said. I couldn't find any videos because they got taken down. So I went to Reddit, and I went to the Fighter and the Kid subreddit because I'm like, oh, these are Brendan's people. I guarantee they're defending him.
Right.
I have never been to a subreddit, like to somebody's subreddit who hates the person so much. Like the Fighter and the Kid subreddit is nothing but making fun of Brendan Schaab. And it has been, as far as I can tell, for months. I scrolled for like 2 hours the other night on the Fighter and the Kid subreddit, and every single post was making fun of him. And it wasn't even about this. It was just about like he made a rap song apparently that was like just awful. And they're like really mean about his weight and stuff like that.
Sure.
Surely, I don't know what happened. I'd love to know the full lore on the Fighter and the Kid subreddit because everyone there fucking hates him. Just hates him.
I mean, he plays the douchey fighter character a little bit. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that he doesn't give two fucks about being the bad guy at all, because I think
he really, I mean, they painted a picture where he really wants people to like him, and this is why he's suing someone who's like really a nobody.
Right.
And dude,
I don't understand what you're gonna get out of that, man. That's just stupid.
The clips, I mean, these people in the subreddit were so ruthless against this guy. Like,
you know what I was thinking about? One of these review videos, we should just read comments on Reddit shit. You know what I mean?
I would love to explore this one. Oh,
yeah.
I just remembered something. Here's what got the small YouTuber in trouble in Brendan's eyes. And this is me inferring. I don't need to be sued myself or something, but the guy, there was a clip posted by someone in this subreddit, and the clip was of Brendan, who is married, giving a girl his phone number at a bar.
Oh, jeez.
And the girl was the one that like showed it off, and then there was like security cam that caught the whole thing as well, and that guy was talking about that. So then Brendan took action.
Oh, wow.
And this whole subreddit is nothing but compilations of Brendan being unfunny, Brendan being cringe, Brendan being racist, like Brendan just being a dipshit.
Yeah, he's.
And I went there to look for someone defending him.
I've been I've been a Brendan Schaab hater for a long time. It turned around. I think I mentioned this, but it turned around for me quite a bit because I realized how close our lives were. But at the same time, I'm never gonna play the douchey fighter. I don't really care if that's gonna make me more money and all that shit. Like there's guys out there that are gonna play that character, and he's just kind of just doing that now, man.
Imagine like getting to a place where you have a subreddit, and I think the subreddit has 60,000 members. You get to a place, you've created this community, this fan base, and all 60,000 of them just hate you. Like,
No.
they were celebrating, I guess he released some comedy special. They were celebrating that it's the worst rated comedy special to have ever come out. Like, he's the least
Nice.
funny person. It was just, it
I
was so sad and funny.
I've honestly I don't think I've really seen much of his comedy. I can't even think if I have or not. Um, I don't know, man. What are you gonna do? I
I
just
don't know.
it just so happens that he goes to the gym that I
Oh,
teach
yeah,
at
I
now,
remember that.
and he got a black belt through the same instructor, and he's been a fighter and he's doing all these different things with his career now. So it was just like at first I was such a hater. It was like because he was a fighter and he went straight to comedy. I was like, dude, are you kidding me? And then I watched some of his shit and I just didn't think it was funny. I was like, what are you doing? But
It sounds like you're a member of the subreddit.
I know I basically was, but then I started hearing all this stuff like how many similarities we had, and I was like, what if I want to get into comedy and people are gonna hate on me and shit? But at the end of the day, if I'm gonna succeed, it's gonna be because I'm funny and not
Right.
because I have this douchebag, stupid comments that are gonna make you mad, kind of shit, and suing people because you got caught giving your number out. Like, fuck, dude, don't be a douchebag.
Yeah,
Jeez.
exactly. I just it was just so funny because like I heard about this late at night and then I was like, oh well, I'll check out what his fans are saying, and it took another 2 hours of my life just watching like what I thought were his fans. I thought it was going to be a safe place for him, and it was just not.
Dude, I'm some days I really think about deleting my social medias, man. It's like, God, I'd probably be double as wealthy if I didn't have these fucking social medias.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Just funny. But yeah, what he's doing is not cool. Suing someone for calling him out on something.
I can't imagine that he'd win that battle, but
I
I
don't
don't
think he
know.
would.
So this week I'm trying to start to film some TikToks, or not film, trying to edit some TikToks for us.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like getting the office ready too, because I'm like trying to get some YouTube going for me again. I film myself opening up some boxes I had laying around here. Like I had four Champions Path boxes. So
Okay.
this is my last Champions Path box opening, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ever kind of deal. You had one similar like that. And I pulled the one gold card in the set,
Oh, okay.
the mysterious food tin or something like that.
Yeah, it's
No,
called Suspicious Food Tin.
suspicious, yeah. No
Yeah.
Charizards this time, no Charizards, but pulled that, and I'm like, I'm doing pretty good this week, like doing that and getting a bunch of eBay done. And I had a drink laying back here on my desk, and I'm like doing some eBay stuff, and I bump my chair into the drink, and then it's like a purple juice, and it starts spilling everywhere, and my computer is right below it, dude. So my screens are all like on, and the screens just go black,
No.
and I'm like, oh my God. And I have the weirdest setup right now because this underneath my desk right now is my collection of not collection, but
Belly
I'm
button lint.
I am currently harvesting worms and roly polies for my lizards to eat. Okay.
Oh shit, I thought you were going off on another bit. Like,
It's a weird thing, but
yeah,
they're
it's a
beh-
weird thing.
they're underneath the desk in these plastic drawers, and I put the computer next to them because I figured that computer would keep them warm. Because when they're, they just don't breed as much when they're freezing cold. And
Okay.
this office doesn't get heat worth of shit. So that's why the computer's not like up on the desk, which I'm probably gonna end up changing this around now, or just not drinking it. Now I make myself have bottles. But so it dripped off onto the computer, and I freaked out, yanked it off, took the power off, and opened it up, and it had dripped down right onto the graphics card, and then down to the power supply at the bottom. Like those, like the motherboards on the side. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
those two things that hit. So I like took a I don't know what you
Can
call it,
of air or something?
disinfectant rag, and kind of cleaned it up. And then I took my little heat gun that I usually take like labels off with, and just like hit it with the heat gun for a while. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, to try to evaporate anything that was in there, but hopefully not to melt anything. Like I had, really.
Oh,
And
jeez.
yeah, and then I try to like turn the computer on, and the motherboard has like four little lights that it clicks through to like check everything. It's like, power supply, CPU, I don't know, graphics card, and something else, and the graphics card was like just stuck on like the white light or red light or something like that, and the computer wouldn't turn on. Well, the power turned on. Well, I was like, okay, the power supply didn't, like, everything turned back on, but then that light wouldn't turn on. I was like, oh my god. So I like took the graphics card out and like really looked at it and tried to wipe it up again and clean it up a little better and put it back in, and then it worked.
Oh my God.
I
I
know,
was so
dude. I
scared for
know.
you.
But
Jesus.
it was like the most lame, stressful day. I was so motivated to get shit done, and it turned into just cleaning up my own messes all day.
Good God.
It's
It's funny you mentioned that room doesn't get much heat. I can see the goddamn vent, and it's just a pile of toys in front of it.
yeah.
No wonder it doesn't get much heat.
I mean, the toys I'm sure are really warm,
Yeah.
but me underneath the toys, not getting anything, nothing.
Damn. Well, I'm glad you
So
didn't totally break your PC.
that was my stressful week, man. I almost broke my computer, and my girlfriend got her car stolen.
Good God. Did you start Black Mirror?
No, I totally forgot about Black Mirror. That was my fault.
You
I'm gonna
buffoon.
do that. Tess and I have actually got into Naruto,
Okay.
believe it or not. We just kind of just been, it's an easy one. I'm not like super in tune to the story right now. I'm just kind of watching the fights and enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's just something to keep on while we're doing chores and stuff around the house or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna get into Black Mirror this week. Well, I'll do that. Promise.
Me and Kelsey started a really trashy show.
What?
It's called Love is Blind. Have you heard about this?
Okay. No.
This is what they do. It's actually a twisted, like, sick concept. It's gross. They take like 10 males and 10 females, and the whole point of the show is this show ends with a wedding, and they can't see each other. Okay, so there's a boy house, there's a girl house, and they date each
Reality
other.
show?
Yeah, it's a reality show. It's a garbage reality show. They go into these pods. Okay, they call them the pods. And basically it's just rooms that are joined by a thin wall so that the boys and the girls can talk to each other and like date without ever seeing each other.
Oh no.
And then
Never would I ever.
and then the thing is like that is the first couple episodes are in the pods. And then you're expected to find your soulmate and propose. Okay? So then it goes straight from the pods. You propose to someone that you've been talking to for a couple weeks, and you get whisked away on like a honeymoon. Okay? And then you live life being able to see them and like if the relationship still works. And then you get sent back to, they're all from Atlanta, and they're forced to live in an apartment together for like another couple weeks. And now they have to tell their families like that they've fallen in love and they're getting married. And then the show ends with them actually getting married. after like being together for a couple weeks.
You've already finished the season or whatever?
I think we have like an episode or two left.
Oh, okay.
That one wedding has happened, so we're like right at the end.
And
Here's
you're obsessed with it?
Here's the thing. It's just like trash TV. It's fun to watch. It's like a roller coaster of just like you hating everyone involved.
Right.
So the problem that I'm having, like my biggest problem is the idea that love is blind. But the thing is it's just a bunch of like attractive fit people. So love isn't, I mean, when they meet each other, they're not like
I thought
super
they were going to
mad.
throw in some curveballs and just some real
Dude,
uggos,
what I was saying was redo the show. Do the show again, except on one side you have supermodels, right? Like just a bunch of like the hottest girls on our smoke shows. And then on the other side, you have the nerdiest fucking like they all work in tech, you know what I mean? Like they are just unattractive, maybe a little socially awkward. But if you get those two to fall in love and then like they don't have to get married, but at the very end of the season is when they finally get to see each other after speaking through a wall for like 3 weeks. Holy fuck.
They need to train the nerds first how to like pick up women. Like, here's what you're going to do. And then.
No way, dude. They got to get in on their own personality.
Oh, no.
But it would be the looks out of the problem. Like, I'm talking like people with maybe some serious birth defects or like they had been in accidents.
Just some guys that their elevator doesn't go right to the top. It stopped right with floor below.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have to be mentally attractive, otherwise it wouldn't work.
I know,
but
that's
physically repulsive would be the greatest show on earth.
Oh. Now though, I mean, have you ever thought about filming like mini movies or little skits or things like that? Like serious ones though, not like funny ones.
Oh, yes.
Interesting. What have you thought about?
I've actually this is not something I take super seriously, but sometimes I'll be talking to like a friend or like to a bunch of people in the Discord, and they say something that triggers like a writing prompt for me.
Sure.
And then I will go on like just like imagine like a 5-page story off the top of my head, and it's always like dark and like definitely not funny. It's like
sure.
And then I just leave it at that and let them like read through it and be confused. And I love writing short stories that are not funny. Why, are you trying to film something weird?
It got brought to my head because I'm at my storage unit all the time, and I'm like by myself, and there's like all the lights will like turn on as you go through it. They're like motion activated.
That's cool. That's a cool effect.
And it's sometimes you're just like I'm in my storage unit and you can just hear somebody like way down the way, you know what I mean, but you don't know what they're doing, or like you're just like wondering like what's going on. And it made me think about like, man, this could be like a interesting little mini horror movie that we could do. And it doesn't have, it could just be filmed for free in my fucking storage unit.
Yeah.
And you just have to write it out, and you're like somebody will have to be the character, like the manager of the storage units, and be like, yo, is anybody living in these units or something, man? Sometimes I'm hearing stuff back there. Like, no, man, like we got motion capture, we got cameras here, like there's nobody live with it. If we catch them, we kick them out right away, you know what I mean? And so
I call dibs on playing the property manager. I can play a very convincing property manager.
I've been thinking about like the property manager, but maybe he's in on it somehow, you know what I mean? Like,
he's the problem for sure.
There's something weird about it, yeah. And then I was thinking like there's like this homeless guy or something like you meet that like is, I don't know, you don't know much about this guy, but then you start to suspect this guy too, but in the end the random homeless guy ends up saving you or something like
Oh,
that.
Jesus Christ. Now it's a
There has
Darman
to be
skit.
there has to be a happy ending too.
It's a Darman skit.
You can't have like
Jesus.
everybody die at the. I mean, you guess you could have everybody die at the end. It could be one of those.
I
Whatever.
only want everyone to die at the end of the
There could
movie.
be an alternate ending. We'll figure it out. All right. But I don't know. This is just something that I brainstorm when I'm sitting in my storage unit by myself and hearing people like rummage around down the hall when I can't see them, and you know, and I just thought it would be a free place to do it because it's nobody's ever in there, and you could film some interesting scenes of like, if you I don't know if you figured out if you could like wear all green and like walk down the hallway and then cut yourself out of it so it just looks like the lights went on and off
Yeah,
for no
there's a way
reason,
to do that for sure.
shit like that. Like I just feel like it would be a funny project to do, but I don't know. I was interested if you had any other random little mini movies that were, because we've talked about like YouTube skits,
Yeah.
but nothing more semi-serious. It doesn't have to be a horror, but
I think that
especially now you got a lot of nice equipment and shit.
right.
Now that we do.
There's if you're ever interested in like writing out a little
Screenplay?
spooky story or something like that, I recommend there's a subreddit called Writing Prompts. And basically it's just people will post something like they'll set up a scenario and then you finish it creatively. And it's a really
Sick.
cool subreddit, yeah.
So I just got to give them the premise and they'll write it for me.
No. They
No.
they present a premise for everyone to piggyback off of.
Okay.
So I can't remember any off the top of my head, but it's
Sure.
it's like if you ever want to practice writing something or if you need inspiration, it's a cool place.
I don't know, man. I feel like I always want to dabble in 14 different things,
Oh, same here. Yeah.
right?
100%.
If anything, I got to settle down and master a few.
Yeah. Yeah, that's more likely. For everyone watching right now, though, I'm feeling much better. This is
yeah. How's your life? Is your wife infected now?
Yeah, Kelsey got COVID. She handled it much better than I did, but today we're both feeling.
Yeah, you're kind of a bitch.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. We're both feeling much better today. So next week, the podcast should be in person, and then we should have like our regular other videos that come out as well.
It's too late now, but it would have been so funny on the last podcast. That minute that your like wife walked in, if she would have been walked in with like a hazmat suit,
That would have been good.
I
The
literally
fuck am I going to get a hazmat suit?
believe it or not, I have one.
Of course you do.
It's actually a Halloween costume of a hazmat suit because I bought one when I worked at Tony Roma's, and I bought it for the Halloween. I had to work Halloween Day, I believe, and
Wasn't this like 10 years ago?
when I worked in Tony Roma's, that was right after college, so we're looking at least 7.
7 years. Good thing you held on to it, just in case.
Well, now it's going to come in handy, and next time, we'll figure something out. But if you would have let me know, I'm just kidding.
You want to film the next podcast like in the living room, but you're in a hazmat suit?
We're gonna have to just cut it in there. We'll put the hazmat suit on, and then the green screen behind it, and then we'll just add it later.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Thank you.
But I bought it because I thought it was funny that I wore it during serving tables. So I'm walking people's food out wearing a hazmat suit. Like, good luck. I just thought that was the funniest costume to wear at a restaurant.
That's awesome.
Everybody else is wearing like, I'm a 70s disco dancer. Like, something stupid.
You just hazmat suit covered in blood and gore.
You don't want to go back there, folks. It's crazy in that kitchen.
Have you, speaking of gore, have you ever watched The Boys?
No.
Oh, damn. I just rewatched it, so it was on my mind. Another
What was that
recommended
about?
show. Um, it's about superheroes, okay? But the superheroes are controlled by like a mega corporation, think like Disney.
Yeah.
And if the city of Denver wants to have a superhero, they've got to sign like a 2-year contract with Disney and negotiate terms and things like that. And then all these superheroes are some have shit powers, but some have godlike powers, and they are absolutely corrupt. So a lot of times when they like defeat a bad guy or try to save the day, they do so in like the most gory, fucked up way where they just slaughter people without powers.
Wow.
It's
Interesting. I might
real,
want to check that out actually.
it's such a good
What is
show.
that on Netflix or something else?
Prime,
Okay. Amazon Prime.
yeah.
Dude, I still haven't been able to get my HBO working since the dang Matrix shit. I don't know what is going on. Isn't that wild?
You probably stopped paying for it.
Yeah, right.
You're not even paying for it.
It's
So
connected to our AT&T account. There's something going on. It's not like signing us in right, but oh well, we don't need to talk about it. Some bullshit.
yeah, bullshit.
I'm on Naruto.
I've
There's a
not watched
lot
Naruto,
of
but I've
not,
heard good things.
there's a lot out there. They've got a few episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. With anime, I find that I want to watch an anime if it's like, if the story can be told in like 3 seasons or less. A 1 season anime is like ideal.
My girlfriend and I were trying to get all through the Full Metal Alchemist, and
Okay.
I don't. What happened was I think Netflix stopped airing it, and we only got to a certain season, and then that was it. So we haven't finished that one. I don't know how far that went.
Dude, that shit happened to me with The Sopranos. I was like, it was on Netflix for a long time. This was years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to commit to this show. I'm going to watch the whole thing. I watched one episode, and I swear to God, it was the next day. I go to watch episode 2, gone.
Oh, you know what's crazy too is different countries around the world have different stuff airing for them.
That's true, yeah.
When like I Tess and I really got into Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
I love that show. And they had it on Netflix for a minute and then they took it away. And then,
I think it went to Hulu.
yeah, who hops around, who knows what happens. But we went to Peru, and then not only did Brooklyn Nine-Nine show back up in Netflix again, but it was airing the current season as the episodes were coming out week to week.
Whoa.
And I was like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, you guys got
You guys got Peruvian Netflix?
they like just showed us some Brooklyn Nine-Nine and took it away, and you guys just get all the Brooklyn Nine-Nine you want every episode as it comes out."
Sons of bitches.
I was so confused by that. I mean, I guess because in America they want the advertisement money and all that shit to go to ABC or NBC or whoever the fuck owns it and plays it every week. But
Right.
like, well, we don't care about the Peruvians over there. There's 5 people that watch it.
They're just doing whatever they want. Those Peruvians are out of control.
I didn't know that, man. I didn't know that they could. Of course, they're gonna only give us
Well, that's
taste.
like when YouTubers do their ad reads and stuff, that's a big selling point for NordVPN or ExpressVPN because you want Peruvian Netflix, you can have it.
Interesting. Yeah, VPNs, man. I totally forgot about that. I was I was talking to like somebody on Facebook. They were like talking about how Google and Apple stopped doing their finances with Russia. Apple Pay and Google Pay, whatever the fuck they are.
Okay, yeah.
And then somebody was like trash talking underneath, was like, they could just get a new VPN and just still do the same thing. I'm just like, okay, jeez Louise.
Yeah,
And
convince however many hundred thousands of store owners to figure out how to connect their cash register through this VPN. Good fucking luck.
yeah, no kidding, right? I'm gonna get you these shoes, okay? Let me just figure out this whole VPN thing.
Yeah,
And
someone said I could download a VPN. What does that even stand for? Of course, they're saying it in Russian, so totally different letters, I assume.
I know. I said something similar to that. I was like, the general population isn't going to be able to use a VPN. Are you kidding? Like, and it's a big deal that these companies did that because now other companies can come out and say we're not going to deal with Russia anymore as well, because it's a scary thing. This Putin guy is like, he'll kill you if you fucking mess with his business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, McDonald's is pulling out entirely. It's not like you can VPN yourself a cheeseburger. They're gone.
Yeah, dude. So I don't know. It was a stupid thing.
I think it's so interesting.
He was just basically trying to say, oh, these big companies are just trying to make it seem like they're doing something. I'm like, they are doing something, man. Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, what is it, ruble, the Russian currency, is down 50% since all this stuff started happening.
Right.
And I think it's so interesting that you could cripple an economy. You could, win a war without firing a shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What else is interesting in this war nowadays is I heard last week the president of Ukraine dodged 3 different assassinations because the Russian soldiers tipped off the Ukrainians and let them know that this was going to happen, and they got them out of there.
Wow.
So even the Russian soldiers don't want to be there.
That's weird.
And I even heard that the Russian soldiers were told that the Ukrainians were going to be welcoming the Russians in, and then when they got there, they learned, no, you're going in there to kill these people.
Right. Yeah,
So
I've heard that too.
Jeez, man, it's just. And did you hear about the YouTube story too, where all these different Russian YouTube influencers
I watched that.
went on YouTube and had like the same freaking story?
I think that it was a YouTube video
supporting Russia and invading Ukraine, basically.
I think it was a YouTube video that called it out, but all the creators were in vertical mode. So I think all those creators were like maybe TikTok influencers.
Maybe it was TikTok influencers.
But yeah, they were all Russian influencers and saying, like, from a script saying the exact same thing, which was in support of Russia.
Yeah. Who's paying the TikTok? They're paying the TikTok influencers off out there?
I don't think they're paying. I think they're offering to not,
Oh, yeah.
gulag.
Do you still want to play on TikTok?
Yeah.
Okay. You want TikTok? Then you better say this.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, man. You just do what they fucking say out there.
Of course, and I would too. I'd be like, oh yeah, they're pretty awesome around here.
It's not. Just give us the land, please.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. I don't know. I don't want to get too political. Seems like obviously nowadays we keep bringing it up, but
it's topical.
What are you gonna do, man? Hopefully, but it's just interesting though that a lot of these Russians are tipping off the Ukrainians, and this president is getting away with multiple assassinations. Hopefully, that's a really good sign that maybe the fucking Russian soldiers will all just stop or something. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to fucking invade these people. Like, fuck off, Putin.
Do you ever watch the YouTube channel is called Channel 5 News?
Mm-mm.
There's this guy, it's his YouTube channel. His name is Andrew Callahan. And he used to run a YouTube channel called All Gas, No Brakes.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he signed that with like some like management company, and they fucked him over. So he created his own YouTube channel called Channel 5 News. And it is the most incredible YouTube channel ever. Basically what he does is he lives out of an RV and he just goes to these like sometimes festivals, sometimes rallies. His most recent video came out yesterday, and it's an hour long, and he followed the truckers across the country to DC. And he's such an incredible interviewer because basically all he does is he just holds the mic in front of like random attendees' faces and doesn't say much. He just lets them go on and on and on. And people say the most crazy shit. I highly recommend checking them out, dude. They're really good. Channel 5 News.
Channel 5 News. I forgot why we brought that up. I was going to say something else. What were we talking about?
We were talking about Ukraine.
And tipping the people off. Oh, shoot. I can't remember what the fuck I was going to bring up. Oh, well. It's getting about that time, I guess.
Time to pack it up. We will be back next week in person. None of this Zoom shit.
Yeah.
Dalton will be in 4K again instead of
my internet's pretty shitty, so
360p.
Yeah. Like I'm playing Mind Blocks over here or whatever it's called.
I love that I'm pulling
Minecraft.
My video straight from the camera and I'm pulling your video like through Zoom. So next to each other, it just looks like you're super fucking scuffed and I'm a 4K goddess.
I know. And on my end, it looks perfectly fine. But on your end, it's just I'm like a terrible choppy.
Yeah, and the software takes a lot of liberties with like trying to soften things. So a lot of times it looks like an oil painting.
That. Yeah. Oh man, I was it's like back to the Duke Nukem days, man. We're playing Duke Nukem again. Over here.
It's pretty awful. All right, man.
All right, cool. We'll go back to the normal shit. Well, I don't know, man. I might have to give you another couple of weeks. Now your fucking wife's got it too.
She caught it almost immediately after the last podcast.
Jesus.
So I think
I'm gonna have to wear the hazmat suit next week.
I think right now the CDC says you quarantine as soon as you get a negative test. I don't even think they do the 5 days anymore. As soon as you get a negative test, it's your discretion.
I still haven't gotten COVID, and I still need my booster shot. So I'm at high risk, I guess.
Well, come on over. We'll definitely get you one of those things.
We're gonna end the podcast for real indefinitely now.
All right, goodbye.